Good morning, Jim Ryerson from Sales Octane, and I want to do just a brief video overview of how to ask your satisfied customer to write a recommendation for you and then post it to LinkedIn. And this is critical. If you're able to get recommendations posted to LinkedIn for you, it's going to make it much easier when you're prospecting to potential customers. But it's also going to make it easier for you to secure referrals from those existing customers who are willing to take that first step and write and post a recommendation on LinkedIn. Now, there's only two reasons you're not getting recommendations and ultimately referrals, and that's either because you're not asking or you don't deserve the recommendation or referral. The fact that you're watching this video is an indication that you apply yourself, you are a sales pro, and so it's not that you don't deserve it, it's typically that you don't ask, and we want to make it easier for you to do that today and to get your customer to post this on LinkedIn, which is critical. So let's kind of walk through the process. And number one, just ask. Literally send an email to your customer asking if they would be willing to write a recommendation for you. Now, I'll give you some indication of what it might look like. This is just an email. Let's say that I have a customer that I did some work for, and let's say that that customer's name is Scott Riffle from a company called Project Outbox. Now, they happen to be a provider for us, but for this example, it's just an easier way for you to show this. So let's say that I send Scott an email. Now, typically, you want to warm this up. You finished the project, things went well, and you stayed with it, you took care of everything, the customer is satisfied. Not a bad idea to warm it up by saying, hey, I'm going to send you an email because I just want, if you could just write 1 to 2 sentences about what we did for your company, that would be great. They say, absolutely no problem, Jim, just let me know what you need. Then I send this email to Scott. Thanks again. Something about you build your business based on recommendations, or you're following up on the conversation regarding the recommendation. But the bottom line is you ask them very specifically. It would really be helpful if you'd be willing to write 1 to 2 sentences on what we did for your company. We recommend, by the way, that you would include and prompt your customer to include some of the keywords that might resonate with future prospects and future customers, because you're going to use this concept for prospecting. So in this case, I'm a trainer. We have a sales training company, so I've said, hey, it'd be great if you could include the words onboarding, new salespeople, seasoned, because we do both new and seasoned sales professionals, and Octane Selfie, which is our little disruptive technology on how to eliminate role play, but generate better results than role play in terms of learning. So put that email together, and then it's not a bad idea to save that as a signature so you can always, it's like, hey, step 1 in the process, you close a project, it works great, you stayed with it, you've prompted the customer that you're going to ask them for a recommendation, they say anything, we'll do anything for you, you send that email. That's step 1. Now, just as a reference point, we did this recently with a group, and they were in our 2-day Jumpstart workshop. Day 1, every single one of them sent one of those emails to a satisfied customer asking for a letter or some kind of recommendation. The following morning, 50% of them had an email back from the person with rave reviews about what they did for them. Now, what's that going to do for your confidence? It's going to make it a great day, but it gets better because you're going to do something with it this time. It's more than just confidence in improving your day. It's let's get something for it. So let's just say that Scott sent me back this email. Jim, I'm not much for writing, but I hope this is good enough. Now notice that Scott used those keywords, and I've just bolded them so you get the essence of why you would prompt them for keywords. Theoretically, they should use those keywords, and now you've got a really powerful recommendation. When you get the recommendation back in an email form, I want you to copy it. So I'm just going to copy that. Then for illustration purposes, I've just got a simple Word document, and I'm going to paste that in there. Get rid of the bold, because that was just an example. So now I've got Scott's recommendation right there. Put that off to the side. Step 2, how in the world do you get the Scotts of the world, your customers, to post it on their LinkedIn. Because frankly, it's been very, very difficult in the past for anybody to navigate that space. Today, it becomes super easy. What I'd like you to do, and I hope that you have two screens running right now, so in one screen you can keep this video going, and in the other screen I want you to open up your browser. So I'm using Safari, but you may use Explorer, or maybe it's Chrome, whatever. Open up LinkedIn. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to open up LinkedIn. I get to LinkedIn, and I want you to click on your profile. Now you're looking at mine, but guaranteed if you're following step by step, you're looking at your profile. Now you're one of two situations today. Either A, you do already have one or more recommendations posted to your LinkedIn, or B, you don't have a recommendation, you're new to sales, or you've not done much with LinkedIn, but you bought into this and you understand the importance of having people talk about the good things that you've done for them. Whether it's A or B, we're going to cover both. Let's start with A. If you have at least one recommendation, scroll down, and when you find the areas with recommendations, I want you to click the button Ask for Recommendation. And notice what comes up. Don't touch it. Just go up here to the top and copy this URL. So I'm going to copy the URL, and I'm going to paste it in that same Word document. So now I've got the URL and the recommendation that the person wrote. So that's if you have at least one recommendation on your LinkedIn. But what if you don't? Then go back to the top of your profile and you'll notice a section, it says Add Profile Section. Click that drop down. What will come up is a number of things, but you want to find additional information. Click on that drop down. You will notice at least Request a Recommendation. There may be more on yours, but Request a Recommendation. Click the plus. Notice that it's the same dialog box as before, and again it'll be the same URL. But if you're new, copy the URL, paste it back into that Word document. Now here's the Word document with the URL. This is critical. Do not miss this. Go back into the URL and replace the word ask with the word write. So let's just go in here and I go WRITE. That's it. Now, you have everything you need to make it super easy for your customer to write a recommendation on LinkedIn. Number one, they've already written it. Number two, this is the secret sauce to make it easy for them to post it. So now what do? Launch an email. So you launch an email to the customer like this. And I wouldn't necessarily do it like an hour after they sent you the recommendation. I would maybe wait a day or two and respond back with something like this. Wow, that recommendation was great. So Scott had written that recommendation, and I say, Scott, thanks again for your recommendation. As I mentioned, because you should warm this up, as I mentioned, it would really be helpful if you'd be willing to post it to my LinkedIn. Just click on the link below. Now notice that link is the URL with the word write rather than ask. And then include and copy paste what you wrote in the box. And it's done. So here's what happens. You copy this, you paste it right into the email, and then you send that email. Now, all Scott needs to do is click on this URL, and it will prompt him for two things. I'll give you some indication of what that would look like. When Scott gets your email and clicks on that URL, he will get something like this, just to give you some indication of what it would look like on Scott's end. Scott would then select his relationship to me and what he was doing at the time. So I'll just pick two just for the heck of it. Boom, like that. He would hit next. And then all it is just, hey, Scott, can you write me a recommendation? Well, what's Scott going to do? He's going to go back over to that Word document, or that email, I should say, that you sent, but it would have this information. He would copy, just like you told him in the email, and he would paste that in there. And he would hit send. Now, guess what happens? If you are watching your notifications, you will see a notification in your notification stream saying Scott Riffle just wrote a recommendation for you. Theoretically, because he's copied and pasted exactly what you sent him, everything should be fine. You click one button, and a second later, you have Scott's recommendation on your LinkedIn, including Scott's picture, Scott's title, and the date that Scott posted that recommendation. So take your time with this. Go back and ask for the recommendation. Why? Because you deserve it. Number two, it's going to make it easier for you to prospect. Number three, you're going to look more relevant to prospective customers who check you out because they see people just like them with the same business outcomes that they're trying to pursue and the same challenges that they're having. They will see that other people just like them have said that you have solved that problem for them, and the transfer of trust takes place. So make sure that you've downloaded Shot of Octane to your mobile devices. Make sure that you have subscribed to Finish Line Friday, because this information, every Friday we give you something new to help you improve and get you closer to the finish line. Have a great day.